What can I say to inspire you to make a switch to a different kind of fuel? For $5,000, you can be running on propane or natural gas. For $15,000, you can pay someone to convert your car to run on battery power. Both conversions employ local labor, and most of the components are made in the USA. Are you still convinced that you do not have a moral imperative to switch to another fuel? Are you still stuck on the idea that it's not safe or that someone else can experiment with that? Consider what the poet Edgar Guest wrote. Courage comes from the soul within. The man must furnish the will to win. So figure it out for yourself, my lad. You were born with all the great have had. With your equipment they all began. Get hold of yourself and say, I can. I can make a difference. I can face the hidden costs and impacts of gasoline use. Let's discuss those hidden costs. What are the long-range, out-of-sight costs of using gasoline? It's more than just oil spills. There are so many air pollution points made at the refinery. What about the madrasas that get money from the Saudis? What about Chavez fueling his socialist dream on excessive oil profits? We're in the Middle East with our army to protect our access to oil. If our country didn't need imports, why would we need to stay there? But it's so expensive to make a conversion. That's what I've heard. I've had to sacrifice so much to participate in this pipe dream called the electric car. Consider the switch, however, to be a sacrifice worth making instead of asking soldiers to die in Iraq to protect our access to gasoline. As the song says, from Vietnam to El Alamein, our fighting men will have died in vain. If we just go on in our comfort and ease, doing exactly as we darn well please. They won independence because they paid the price. So paying $15,000 to get a car with a 40-mile range on battery-powered is a sacrifice. Putting solar panels on our roof is a major impact on your home equity. Sending contributions to sponsor tree planting in Haiti and Africa would be money that comes from your entertainment budget. So we've got to pay a price. We all need to sacrifice for liberty. Small dedicated group has created a concept called democracy bonds. Why not buy a bond as a way of supporting the sacrifices we need to make? Following letter was sent to Mrs. Bush in 2005 in explaining the need for the bond. Dear Mrs. Bush, we're a small group of citizens in the USA who has some suggestions. Perhaps you have time to consider the following. Number one, why not ask people to sponsor, to pay a little bit towards something called democracy bonds? Democracy bonds would be used to pay for those things which are being used to meet the hearts and minds of people in other countries, to encourage the use of building faith in the Iraqis and their neighbors where democracy is in practice. Why not ask us to sacrifice buying $1 for every $1,000 we earn? In an economy that has $1 trillion, if only half of us participated, we'd raise $5 billion a year. Winning the hearts and minds with democracy bonds is going to cost billions of dollars. Please persuade your husband's administration to respect outsourcing and to educate everyone about the new flat earth. Thomas Friedman has written that there's a great change in the world economy. The world is flat, and there's great fear associated with outsourcing and buying products from China and India. Some of us signing this letter are teachers in a local middle school.